Every week, Raymond took to jogging the peaceful streets of Meadowville, a small suburban town known for its tight-knit community and calm surroundings. One Thursday morning, however, the tranquility was shattered by an unforeseen event. As Raymond jogged past the quaint bakery near a narrow alley, he heard a muffled cry. His curiosity quickly turned to concern. Stopping to investigate, he saw an elderly woman struggling against two young men. One was snatching her purse, while the other tried to pull a bracelet from her wrist. "Hey! Leave her alone!" Raymond shouted firmly. The two men froze, startled. They sized up Raymond, a man in his late 50s but with a formidable presence. When he took a step forward, fists clenched, they decided against confrontation and ran off into the shadows. "Cowards," Raymond muttered, watching them vanish. Chasing them wasn't an option. His running days weren't what they used to be. Instead, he turned his attention to the trembling woman, clutching the remnants of her purse. "Thank you," she managed between sobs. "They took everything." Raymond gently rested a hand on her shoulder. "Are you hurt, ma'am?" he asked. Before she could reply, a police cruiser sped to a stop nearby. Relieved, Raymond waved to the officer. Out stepped Officer Daniel Carter, his hand resting on his holster as his sharp eyes scanned the scene. "Step away from her," Carter barked, his tone commanding. Raymond froze, startled. "Officer, I was helping her. I said, step away." Carter interrupted, moving closer. The elderly woman tried to interject. "No, officer, you're mistaken. He's not the one." "Ma'am, I'll handle this," Carter cut her off. Raymond raised his hands in a gesture of compliance. "Officer, there's been a misunderstanding. I scared off the men who attacked her." But Carter wasn't listening. "Hands where I can see them," he demanded. Raymond sighed, his patience wearing thin. "You're making a mistake," he said, his voice calm but firm. Carter's stance remained tense, his hand inching toward his holster. A small crowd had gathered, some recording the scene on their phones. "What were you doing here?" Carter sneered. "Planning a quick getaway." Raymond took a steadying breath. "Officer, I've spent decades in law enforcement. I know how this looks, but you're wrong." Carter scoffed. "Yeah, right. Save your story for the judge." The tension was suffocating. Slowly, Raymond reached into his pocket. "Don't move," Carter shouted, raising his weapon. "I'm just reaching for my ID," Raymond said, keeping his movements deliberate. From his pocket, he produced a gold badge that gleamed in the sunlight. "Take a good look, Officer Carter," Raymond said. "My name is Raymond Carter, former Deputy Director of the FBI." The crowd gasped. Carter's eyes widened as he read the engraved badge. His grip on his weapon faltered, and he quickly holstered it. "Sir, I didn't realize." He stammered. "You didn't realize because you didn't ask," Raymond replied sternly. "You made dangerous assumptions." The elderly woman, now emboldened, stepped forward. "He saved me," she said firmly. "Those boys ran off because of him." Carter's face turned pale. "It was a mistake," he muttered. "I didn't mean any harm." Raymond's voice was measured but firm. "Pointing a gun at an innocent man is more than a mistake, officer. It's a breach of trust." At that moment, another police unit arrived. Sergeant Lisa Martinez stepped out, taking in the scene. "What's going on here?" she asked, her tone sharp. Raymond handed over his badge and recounted the incident. Martinez listened carefully, her expression darkening as she turned to Carter. "Is this true, Carter?" The officer nodded, unable to meet her gaze. "Yes, ma'am." Within minutes, Carter was placed on administrative leave, his badge and gun confiscated. As the scene cleared, Raymond turned back to the elderly woman. "Are you all right?" he asked. She smiled through her tears. "Thank you for standing up for me, and for yourself." Raymond nodded. Justice isn't just about catching criminals. It's about doing what's right. He resumed his jog, the streets of Meadowville now filled with murmurs of respect and admiration from those who had witnessed the incident. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and share the video. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more inspiring tales like this.